Hello, world. I'm Doris Hall James, and welcome to the Indie Show. The Indie Show brings hidden music legends to life. This evening, we have a conversation with, well, I want to say the Fantastic Four, but it's like Fantastic Six or Seven. But anyway, we welcome you. Now I'm going to introduce the guys to you at this time. We're going to start from right to left. We have T. Life, Sam Peake, Dexter Wansel, Kim Miller, Jim Gallagher, and Raymond Earl. And we welcome you to the Indie Show, all of you to the Indie Show. I'm really excited to have you here. You all know that you're history, right? You're history.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You've done a lot of things. You've done a lot of things. And you gave us such good music throughout the years. And I want to thank you for that. Many times we put on our radio and we listen to the music that you have played, that you have sung, that you have done for us. So I welcome you to the show, and I am going to step out the picture for a minute, and I'm going to turn this show over to Kim Miller. And all of you know Kim is from Instant Funk. Oh, I want to say hi to Carol, his wife. She's sitting over there in the back.
Hi, baby.
Okay, Kim.
Yeah, well, first of all, I'd like to thank Doris for allowing us to have this gathering.
Yes.
We're sitting here with so much musical knowledge that I'm proud to have known these guys for all these years, you know. And I just want to start this off with just trying to tell a little something about the guys that are sitting around here, because this is experience and knowledge at its best. Mr. T. Life, who is famed. He's a songwriter, a musician, famed with Evelyn King, all of her early hits.
Yes.
We have Sam Peake here, a saxophonist extraordinaire, who's played with some of everybody, including Patti LaBelle. We have my dear friend Dexter Wansel, who has written numerous hits and played for numerous artists, which he'll tell you more about that. To my left, I have a famous engineer from Sigma Sound Studios in Philly, Mr. Jim Gallagher. Sure. And my partner to the left of him is Raymond Earl, musician, bass player, engineer in his own right. You know, so I just want to start this off and just try to tell our listeners and our upcoming artists, you know, some of the ways that we took to achieve the goals that we achieved. And I'm gonna let T start out with that.
Well, thanks for calling me first. You know, I mean, you put me on the spot. You know, I'm on the spot. I think nowadays is a little bit different from when we were doing our thing.
Right.
But it's still the same mindset. You know, I want to be a star. I want to be in the entertainment industry. Oh man, I can do that. But can you really? It's been my experience dealing with some of the new kids, the younger kids, and let you know where I'm coming from. I've been around hip hop for 25, 30 years, so this ain't my first rodeo, you know. And before that, we did the R&B, and I love rock and roll and jazz. I love all the music, you know. I have to be about it. I have to know what's going on all the time. But the truth of the matter is, unless you're really, really sincere, it's hard work. I tell a lot of kids, go get a job. Go get yourself a 9 to 5. This ain't the business that you want to be in if you don't want to work hard.
Right.
In fact, it's harder than a 9 to 5.
Oh, yeah, I mean, isn't it true that in other words, what you're saying is that they don't want to put the work in.
They don't want to put
it's
the
like everything is instant.
Oh yes.
You know, they want to. Okay, I'm a talented singer. I'm a talented guitarist, and I want you to put me up in lights. You know, they don't want to put the actual work
But see,
in.
that's the problem with it. They want everybody else to put them up in lights. They want the companies to make them, stars.
Mm-hmm.
The truth of the matter is, you have to make you a star.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do the work.
Mm-hmm.
Look at it this way. The companies are there. And nowadays, everybody got their own companies. They don't like the way that one person is doing something. They'll go start their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem with that is you got to finish it out.
Right.
You got to work to make that record.
Right.
You got to work to promote and market that song.
Mm-hmm.
You got to hobnob a little bit with people. You got to hang with people you don't like, and you got to hang in places you don't like. You don't have to do what they do, but you cannot do this game sitting home talking and waiting. I'm going to wait.
Well, I can pretty much tell you, like a little short way, when I started out in this thing, like at a very early age, 9 and 10, where I was playing around older musicians and things,
right.
Because I guess God had blessed me with a gift that I got good at it at an early age, and I was playing in like venues that I should not have been in,
right.
to where I had to go sit in the back room on the breaks because I was so young. But my point is here is that when I started out, I had a goal in my head, and I was careful not to set that goal too high, that if I couldn't reach it, that I wouldn't discourage myself.
Right.
So I would take many goals, and once I got to one goal, and then if the people that I was involved with wasn't getting me any further, hey guys, I'm sorry, but I got to move on, so I can achieve that next goal. And until I just kept going until I met you guys, and things just went better.
It's sort of like a selfish program that we take on. When we meet guys, like we all came together, we're like brothers. You know what I mean? I wasn't a member of Instant Funk in the beginning, and I don't think I just didn't know it. You know what I mean? I locked in with these cats, man, and it was like, whoa. It was just instant love. It was just instant funk and instant love, instant music. And let me tell you, we did everything. There's music that people would hear. If they heard it, they wouldn't even know it was us playing.
No, they wouldn't.
We did an album on an artist by the name of Al Martino.
Oh, wow.
You remember that album?
I remember Al Martino.
Great album, man. You know who Al Martino is? That's the guy who played in The Godfather. He was the Godfather's godson. And he went to the Godfather and said, they want to do the movie. I need this role. And he said, And that's Al Martino. And man, that album was fantastic. I don't know what happened to it, but I can tell you this, it was fantastic. We did, what's the guy from, you would know this, Dexter. What was the guitar
From where?
player?
Gabor Szabo.
Gabor Szabo.
I remember that.
Yeah, you recorded that album. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I played on that.
Oh, you played on that. And we all did. It was fantastic, man. Oh, my God.
Night Flight.
Yeah.
Night Flight. We did a lot of stuff that never came out, or is I guess one day it would come out, but it was just, it was really far ahead of its time.
Yeah.
Like Super Dragon from the Karate movie.
Oh yeah,
wow,
yeah.
yeah.
5 Fingers of Death.
Yeah, and just like you all are saying here now, it wasn't just one
genre.
Like genre
Yeah.
that we went to. We did it all.
We did it all.
And like one of the other things that get me nowadays is when I hear musicians say, like, if you hire them to do something, say, and they'll say, well, I'm really not feeling that song, and I don't think I can do X amount, X, Y,
You know
Z.
what, man?
Jim, you know yourself, and all of you guys, like Dexter, that when a producer called you in, just like you were saying, Dex, you used to sit outside and wait for somebody to ask you to come in and play tracks or whatever. It wasn't about, did you like the song?
And you know what? You can go a little further than that.
Yeah,
you know,
okay.
Because I had to play to eat. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like your age. You the age you said, like 11, 12. I ran away from home. I had to play for eat. So if somebody called me to play, I don't care if they were playing Rawhide. I played it with everything I got, I can get the gig next week, and whatever I had to do. And see, that's where the young folks lose perspective of music, because you don't play for you. You play for people.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? If you're playing jazz, whatever you're playing for people. You're playing to bring them comfort, to bring some healing, bringing them to bring reminiscing or whatever. You're playing for people. You're not playing for you anymore.
Right.
So I don't know where they get that perspective. You're playing for you, and the fact that it's making you happy, making them happy.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and that's the thrill of it all. But I don't understand where they get that from. I remember times, man, where I played for a dish of food. I played for food, okay?
Yes,
So I'm talking about no paycheck, nothing. How about I'm gonna give you some chicken and some French fries and some biscuits, okay, and maybe some water. And chase it down. How about play? But see, they don't see that no more.
No.
But that kind of stuff helped me to get the dope I need to play my music, because all them feelings and all that stuff I went through helped me to bring it out in my music, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, well, like Dexter, you know, what were some of your goals and things that you set for yourself to bring you to be such a established musician and phenomenal keyboardist and
outstanding,
So
the great Dexter Wansel.
Let's give him a round of applause.
Yay!
Y'all funny.
We love you, Dex.
Man, we love you.
We love you, Dex.
Now here's a guy that was a consummate jazz keyboard player.
Okay.
Put him in the studio and play an R&B song. You would say that, is he a jazz musician? I thought he played jazz. Dexter would slice your head off with that R&B.
Yeah.
You
Right.
dig what I'm saying? And then go back talking about, well, you know I think that. What about this?
You know what, man? Go ahead, go ahead, Dex.
Yeah, but let the listeners know, because you have a phenomenal background and stories and advice. I would like to hear some of it myself, because I'm still learning. And I think you're a good teacher.
Well, for me, it really started at the age of 8 and 9, like we all do. It started at 8 and 9 when my mother married Clinton Woods, who was the brother of Georgie Woods, and who had started doing shows at the Uptown Theater here in Philadelphia. And by the age of 9, I was the backstage errand boy at the Uptown, and I got to see a lot of the musicians. Doc Bagby showed me my first chords on the organ, and I got to work all of the shows up until
Doc Bagby.
until '63. That was before Sam Reed took over.
Sam Reed.
Yeah.
And so what I learned from that is, I think for young people, as much as you can be around music and people that have gifts and people who are actually performing and working in music, the better it is, I think,
Yeah.
And so that's what I sought to do after that point, even after I went into the Army. Well, while I was still in school, like junior high school, me and my best friend, the bass player at the time, Stanley Clark, we had our first little groups together, and we wanted to play for people, and we would go to different venues and watch other artists play. And that's how we decided how we were going to focus musically over time. you know, and how we developed, you know, as I took cello in junior high. I know a lot of schools now don't have music,
programs,
and which
at
makes
all.
it tough. And I really think that's how sampling really kind of got its start, because so many schools around the country shut down art and music, and especially in urban schools, you know, they took away the budgets for that. And so sampling, what sampling to me means is that they still love music and want to be a part of that, what they're hearing. But they don't know how to do it themselves because they don't have access to learning how to play an instrument or theory, harmony, composition, or anything like that.
Right.
You know, so I think that the more that they can get close to people who are musicians, who are performing, who are part of shows and events, and be around that and see and hear and learn what they're doing, and take up music on their own, even if you just have to get a guitar or get a keyboard. And now with the internet, you can go to school, you know, literally, you know, online and learn how to do it. I know that as far as a lot of young black men are concerned, or young black boys are concerned, it's almost as like they feel the only access for them is to be a rapper. You know what I'm saying? And rap is good if you're good at it, and if you can put the words together in such a way that it will make sense to people. You know, then you gotta follow that. Then you gotta follow where go to the labels, or go to the production companies, or go to the promoters who deal with rap, and so on and so forth. You know, and start to learn your game, start to learn your gift. You know, if you're gifted that way. If you're not, then try something else. You know?
Yeah. You know, too, you know, it's like, you know, listening to you, you know, like what we all did as far as with like Gamble and Huff, like that camp. You know, like coming into that camp, you know, being young, you know, you know, I think all of our experiences with that camp pretty much may have taken the same route of us coming in the door, but it's like, you know, having an ear to listen to instruction from seasoned people who know what they're doing. I mean, I can't tell you how many times, Jim, like we came into like a studio, and you know, the producer would start playing the song of what we're going to record, and we're sitting in there trying to impress and show them how fast we can hit these lines and all inside of the chord structure and stuff like that. And they say, whoa, son. Like, no, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Listen, I'm sure that you can know every note on that guitar fretboard, but all I need you to play is chink. That's all I want you to play, son.
We need that
that's all, Jim. You know, now you know how many times, but so it's a thing about listening, just like Dex is saying, you know. But Jim too, you know, being the side of like the engineer side, you know, there are young people who are interested in that field too. You know, how did you come up and start?
My story is a long, tedious story.
We want the short version.
Very good. But I would like to jump in instead, because besides my long career recording, well, you got great guys and many artists. I have a parallel career that started while I was still a Sigma engineer as an educator. Okay. And I've been teaching at colleges since the late 70s. And the thing I want to bring up, one of the things you said in the very beginning about, you know, these people trying to come into the business now, they want it all right away. One of the things that we as educators are looking at them now as they come in, one of the ways we're trying to reach to them and put across to them is that sometimes it isn't enough just to know one thing, especially these days. It's like that person, like you talked about earlier, who wants to come in. I want to be the guitar player, the singer, or I'm a rapper, or I'm whatever I am, and that's all I am, and that's all I'm going to be. These days, everybody needs to know a little bit of all of it. They better understand what production is from up here. They better understand a little bit of what engineering is from down here, because they may have to do a lot of it themselves these days, because so much of it gets done right on the computer now.
Right.
And the more you can learn, about all the different aspects, the better off you're going to be trying to break into the business. Just coming in and saying, you know, I'm the baddest keyboard player in the world now. Well, okay, that might get you really far. It really might. But when you want to be the big star and own your own record company and be your own boss and do all that other stuff, you better take some time to seriously study it all. And like you said, Dexter, it's right there on the internet.
Right.
You can go out and find all this stuff, or you can go formally back to school and actually study.
Jim, you and I used to do sessions with young people, singers, string players, horn players, rhythm section kids, you know, with, you would have me write charts for them, remember? And you would bring them into the studio and we would record what they did and play it back for them and give them copies so that they would learn, and I would give them copies of the charts or basic rhythm charts or string chart or whatever it was.
Things like that since then,
Yeah.
way back when I was still just an engineer at Sigma. I've been involved in doing that. I also worked for a very long time at the Dell. I used to do a volunteer program at the Dell teaching people all
See,
about
they don't have
business.
any of those things anymore, do they?
I don't believe that they do anymore, but I used to do that. I used to go there every year and teach that.
Wow. Yeah, you know, too.
And a number of those players back then, from those classes we gave back then, have reached out to me over the years.
Oh, that's
Great.
Oh, yeah.
See, that's what
I've
I'm
been
saying.
teaching a really long
Yeah.
time. It is amazing
Yeah.
how many times I run into people, or people
Yes.
come up to me
They're so
in the street
thankful.
or whatever, and they
Yeah.
go, "Oh yeah, you taught me this."
Yes.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
we talked when you first arrived about like one of my very first students ever is what is now the University of the Arts. First
Right.
course I ever taught there is Doug Mapp.
Right,
You know,
Douglas
he's-
Mapp,
you know,
yeah.
Doug Mapp, Angela Falco, Ted Reaver, all kinds of people who went on to all kinds of work in this
Right,
business.
right.
Ted went on to win a Grammy.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
They say-
Yeah, you
Engineering
know.
Grammys, you know.
They say your gift will make room for you and place you among great people.
Exactly.
But you gotta use the people that you're placed around. You gotta use
That's
them
right.
and learn everything. If you got
Learn
a closed
everything.
mind, you're not teachable.
There you
You're
go.
not gonna learn anything.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And that's the problem I find with a lot of young folks now. They're not teachable.
Yeah.
They don't wanna learn enough
And
of
if
it.
you really want to succeed, you got to be the opposite. You got to be a sponge. You got to be sucking
up
it
all that
in,
information.
soaking it up, taking it from everywhere you can get it.
Listen.
Right.
And the more you know, the better. I mean, take examples of super talented people like Prince. You know, most people didn't even know at first that Prince could even play a guitar. And then you find out he's one of the baddest guitarists ever played one up.
Right.
Am I right?
Yeah, yes,
Am
you
I
are.
right?
But not
Damn.
only playing, you know, let's not get it
Everything.
confused. He's a hell of a businessman.
That's right. He did it all.
You know,
Yes.
you have to be versified.
Yes.
You know, diversified in your with this thing. This because you are an entrepreneur. When you look at being a musician or a singer, or it's a business. You know, and the business has changed a lot since we were doing our thing. I mean, it was more simpler, but I guess it would have been, you know, confusing to somebody. You know, boom, boom, boom. You got to learn to. I have kids now that come to me and say, "Man, listen, I got my own publishing house. I'm a member of SAG. You know, I'm a member of this. You know, I got my new record coming out on my label." You know, I said, "Okay,
Yeah.
great. You know, what you told me that chick up there in New York, man, I got that straightened out, boom, boom, boom. I'll give it away because it ain't mine to keep. I'm supposed to give it away.
Right.
I'll
Right.
tell them, call so and so at BMI, call so and so at ASCAP, call so and so blah, 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 and hopefully they get it. But sometimes the information that you give to some of these kids, they think they got it, and
Okay.
they're off to the races, and they crash and burn. You know, and they don't come back.
So true.
Yeah.
But you know that crash and burn is a hell of a thing. You know,
Yeah.
you can
Yeah, like it
go
is.
up and come down and
Yeah.
may not
And-
make it
We all
Yeah.
in life.
We all
Yeah,
learn
like,
from
you
that.
know,
You
We
learn
all
from
learn
your mistakes.
there's something
Thank
wrong.
you.
Right.
Thank you.
You know,
right.
like Dexter was saying, or you were saying, being in Philly International, I think was a great. It wasn't a regular school. It was like a college of you better get it or you don't eat.
Yeah, it was a hard knock.
Yeah.
And wait a minute. And these people talking about, oh, I think I'll go and write a beat. How long is it going to take? I think a beat. A beat. Or, here's the other one. I love this one. Man, I can lay down a rhyme, man, in 5 minutes.
Okay.
I can lay down one in 2 minutes. Then you got those others that, well, it's going to take me a couple of days to finish this. How would you like to be in a position where you got 5 artists coming in that week, and you got to write the songs for them then?
Right.
You don't have a warning.
And they better be good.
And they better be good.
That's right.
What you call pressure writing.
That's right. That's right.
We did a lot of pressure writing.
That's right.
And I'm telling you, man,
Yes.
that's the best. You're talking about writing songs or rhymes or anything else. Spontaneity.
Yeah.
Sometimes that they call it magic.
Yeah.
Now I want to just interrupt you guys for a moment and say hello to our Facebook family who joined in. We have. Anybody want to read this for me? Can you read this?
Sure.
Okay.
You have Beverly Holloway. Good evening, everyone. James. Benny Barksdale Jr. joined. Hey, Benny!
Benny! Let's go!
Benny! Daniel Jenkins and Karen M. Corbin Ward joined. Hello there, Natasha Timbers. Beverly Holloway. Hello. Karen Corbin again, yes.
Benny again.
Benny says, hey there, everybody.
Now, it's today.
Hey, Benny.
Sam, is today your birthday?
No,
Huh?
no.
Yeah.
Sure.
Who said that?
Let me say, keep it going.
Matt Green joined. Hello, Matt.
Wait a minute.
Daniel.
Daniel Jenkins.
Let's see.
Steve Green. Hey, Steve.
Hey,
Great bass
Steve.
player.
Breakwater.
Breakwater.
baby.
Jimmy Williams, another
Jimmy
bass
Williams.
player. Hey, Jimmy. He played on tons of hits.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, jeez.
Butch Blade Ingram. Hey.
Butchie!
I can tell you stories about all of these.
I know.
All of them. No, personally.
Oh, yes.
Then we have
Jessica Lorraine. Stanley
Especially you,
joined.
Jim.
Jessica Lorraine. Hello.
I
Kenyatta
wrote a
Thompson
book.
Oh,
Sr.
God.
Kenyatta joined.
Yeah.
Beverly Bay.
Yeah.
Barbara Bay. Oh, Barbara.
Hey, what's
Hey,
up,
Barbara,
man?
how you doing?
Gabriel joined.
Gabriel,
He's from-
Gabriel.
Yeah,
He's
that's
from Ernie B and the New Blend.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And then we have Keith.
Yvonne Kendi. Or
Yvonne-
Candy.
Who? Candy.
Yvonne
You
Candy.
know
Hi,
who that
Yvonne.
Hi,
Hey,
is.
Yvonne.
You know who that is, right? That's
you know
Hi,
what?
Yvonne. Okay. And then we have
Winston Gay, the great guitar
Hey,
player.
Winston!
Winston.
And singer.
Yeah, and
he
singer.
sings all kinds. Okay, and that's it. I just wanted to say
Okay.
thank you to all of you for joining the Indie Show tonight.
Yeah.
Now, I want to ask you a question while we got this little break. How did all of you meet? Were you in a session together or you worked together? Tell me a little bit about that story.
Well, I'm gonna let Raymond start that.
Okay, go on,
that
Raymond.
story off.
Okay.
Junior high school, you know,
Okay.
we heard about each other playing from different sources. And eventually, Tim and I met in Trenton, New Jersey. Trenton's a small town. So we came to Robert, Tennessee, but I was more interested.
Speak up a little.
Yeah. So that's how we met, through school. Tim was Scotty Miller's brother. Scotty was the drummer. Scotty Miller's younger brother. Yeah, so at the time when
Still
Tim
younger
was
brother.
playing, Tim wasn't playing at all. He was just hanging out. Yeah. And then eventually, he started to pick up the guitar. And he started playing. And he was good enough to actually play with the band. Yeah. And that's how that thing happened. And then the rest is history.
Yeah,
See,
but
yeah.
how do we meet all these
How
other
did all
guys?
of, yeah.
How did Trenton pick up with Philly? Now,
How did
that's-
Trenton hook up with Philly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, that's
Well,
within itself. Right.
Yeah, I think
One name.
Bunny Sigler.
Bunny Sigler.
Oh,
About
right.
time we
There
met
you go.
Bunny
Come on,
Bunny
come on. Bunny Sigler.
You know.
He's got a whole episode by himself.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, we could talk hours about Bunny.
Hours.
Oh yeah, hours,
No.
days perhaps. You know.
Indeed.
Actually, I came there from McFadden and Whitehead.
Right.
Okay.
And when I got there with McFadden and Whitehead, I started playing the horn and Huff came in. And then I met Bunny, and it just seemed like I just stayed there. Right?
Yeah, well, I can
like
pretty
that.
much tell you, we came in. Let's just fast forward it because that like subject could stay forever. But we fast forward it because I never forget. I forget what the song was, but Bunny had a song that we were going to record, and Raymond, Scotty, and myself, like we come in. And the next thing you know, T-Life walks in the door. I don't know T-Life from a can of paint, but I like this hairstyle. I said, well, he all right. He okay. He just had a bright spirit. Like, hey man, let's just do this thing. And then like he asked like Dexter to come in, and the same thing. This is how we met from playing a track, but the chemistry was so
It all gel.
instantaneous. I mean, like we knew that
Was it instant funk?
Right. But we knew. We knew that this. And then this guy, Sam Peake, I never forget because T-Life wrote our first. T-Life wrote our first single, "Get Down with the Philly Jump."
Yeah.
And I never forget that song, and I still love that song till this day. Because T was in there playing the line, and you know how we come in there like tinkering and tinkering. So we join in, and T says, "Oh no, this is the song that we're recording." I said, "Okay." And then all of a sudden, Sam Peake comes in, because we didn't have a horn section then. Sam played all the harmony parts on the saxophone. Everything on that very first album. And that's how, and that's how we pretty much met. And then of course, like Dexter had his project, and and I'm so thankful that he felt us like worthy enough to play like a couple tracks on it. Like the whole. I'm telling you,
worthy.
And that's how I met. That's how I met. Dexter brought them to record the title track of his first solo album,
right?
"Life on Mars," and then another song on the album too. These guys played
You
it.
can be what you want to be, I
You can be
think.
what you want to be.
Right.
And you guys tore it up. I remember recording that session and going,
Scotty was terrific on the drums.
Oh
He
man.
really laid a pattern that was like
He's solid
ridiculous.
to the rock, man.
Yeah. He was.
How long did you stay at Sigma?
I was at Sigma for 10 years.
Really?
And that's,
Great.
I said that earlier, and Sam said it, that's a lifetime right there. 10 years at Sigma is a lifetime.
Lifetime.
Think about it. I worked 50 weeks a year.
Right.
I worked 5 days a week, and 7 of those 10 years I worked night shift. Those night sessions, especially with Bunny, baby. I would go from 7 at night to God knows when in the morning. So it wasn't like the day sessions were after 8 hours. You had to stop and get out. The night session was coming in. The night sessions, how many times did we go and got out? We were going home during rush hour at 8 in the morning.
So we stayed in this studio 4 or 5 days at a time.
That's right, and that's 5 days a week.
That's right.
That's
I was
5 days a
doing
week.
5 days a week for 10
right.
years.
Yeah.
But I gotta say that, all of us collectively, I'm not gonna say we wouldn't have met, but I think Bunny was the catalyst.
Yeah, he was.
Definitely.
He was the
Pulled
catalyst for
pulled
the
it
whole
over.
thing, man. And
Yeah.
when you but I love Bunny because he was a daring guy. He would dare stuff, man. We were in California, and that's the night I fell off the stage. You remember the night
Yeah.
That's the place.
Well, I mean, nobody out there saw it, so I don't care nothing about y'all. It was I was sitting at the table
I remember.
with Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor.
Yeah, I was sitting at the table with
Okay.
Richard, and
That's funny
we
right
was
there.
on a break. We took an intermission,
Right.
and Richard Pryor had this yellow, bright yellow, shiny dress suit on. He was sitting up there talking, listening to the other acts and stuff like that, And then it was time for Instant Funk Bunny Sickler to go back on. You know, that's when Bunny came down from the ceiling. You remember? Bunny came down from the ceiling.
Oh wow, yeah.
He came down.
That was his special effect.
Oh my God, man! It was crazy. You know, we was in it though. We was locked into it. So he comes down from the ceiling, and he's clean as the board of health, and he starts singing and da 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 da. And it's time for me to take my solo. And they moved, you know, the stage is moved, you know, they go in like that.
Boom.
Oh, it was horrible. But I didn't stop playing.
No, you didn't.
No, I kept it going. And Richard Pryor poured soda on himself or a drink or something. When he got on stage to tell jokes, he said, "You see the guy that made me peel?" What's that? Oh man, I was so embarrassed, man, all night long. It was horrible.
Unbelievable.
But Bunny was really, I just wanted to say that Bunny was probably the
But you know what, too, though, guys. You know, this is a like lesson also to the younger and up and coming artists that, you know, even though we just went through a like memory lane type thing, but what the point is that we loved and cared about one another.
Yes.
You know, that there was we gelled together. You know, and like I said, we generally loved one another, which a lot of times that I don't see that in a lot of up and coming acts. Like it's all about when is the next gig, how much it pays. All I need is one rehearsal, and let's go do it. Okay, and you know that's what's missing. You know, I feel. You know, I don't know what you guys feel.
That's a good point, man. That's a good point. And I want to speak on that real quick. I was at the iHeart Music Festival last year. The one with Fleetwood Mac and a lot of different acts, you know, was on that show, man. It was really, really a great show. But I was really, you know, back in the day when we all used to go backstage, you know, everybody, all the stars, everything, you know, would have that camaraderie. Like, hey, how you doing? Hey, man, you know, boom, 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 I like that thing you did, man. Yeah, boom, 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 bam, bam, bam. And everybody was cool with each other. They even talked about doing projects with each other and the whole 9 yards. Well, you didn't have to talk with your manager. You didn't have to talk with your lawyer. You did the talking.
There you go.
Now these artists now say, "Oh, we're independent and we're free." No, you're not. You still got chains around your head. You got more chains now than you had before because it's all corporate. I was backstage and I felt no love.
Whoa.
None. They didn't even talk to each other. Everybody's got their own squad. Squad over here, squad over there, squad over here, squad over there. There was no camaraderie. It was very, very uncomfortable.
Oh, wow.
You know?
I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, this was happening. I mean, you gotta understand we're in a different age.
Oh, yeah.
This ain't peace and love and tranquility no more.
See, there's a reason for that. You know, I mean, imagine yourself 19, 20 years old, right? No musical knowledge, no instrument, and all you got is a computer and the internet in front of you.
Right.
Now you can sit in your room with that computer and create your own song.
Yep.
You can market it and promote it online yourself. And guess what? There's a small chance that your video may go
Go
viral.
viral.
Right.
Now, if it does, now you went from 0 to 60 by yourself. So there's no room for other people. You know,
Right.
That's why that distance is there, because you know it's not like it was when we had to get together with Sanders on the party, then we had to gel together to make it work. When you could sit in your room and go online and possibly go viral by yourself. So that, you know, I mean, back in the day, you would hire a band, you would hire an arranger, you would hire a producer. You may get a certain cat to play drums for a certain field, but all that's gone. It's just
You know what?
now.
Like, but like, you know what, Raymond, and it would not be me if I didn't say this, and I have to say this because Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. But what is missing today is the love. the love. You know, I don't care if you sit home and you do 100,000 things by yourself. Just to love your brother and entertain. Well, you're just to love your brother person, period. But as far as entertaining, you know, it's a thing about love and like caring. You know, you have to love one another regardless of what your profession is.
I agree, but keep in mind there's a reason
know?
for that. Again, just like when we played together, you know, like you said when we first met T, you know, look, when he played his first note, we knew that was going to gel. Then you spend more time with that person, the more time you spend with him,
Right.
you get to know him.
Right.
You know, through the music. But when all that's taken away, you know what I mean? You don't get to gel like that.
You don't get
know,
to
so
gel.
you don't have that love like that, or appreciation.
Right.
I mean, I'm just saying there's a method to the madness.
Oh, yeah.
There's a reason why it is, and that's the reason. You know?
Well,
One thing I have to say about back in the day, that especially in the studio, when we were all in the studio at different times and different projects and different, and not just us, not just the Funky and the people who are in this room, but I mean that whole Sound of Philadelphia. We refer to it as a family.
That's
right.
There was
Yeah,
a
That's
great deal of love.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah,
In
man.
those rooms, I once wrote a poem called in these rooms. In those rooms, man, we did some magic. We did
Yeah.
great things. We
And you
made
could
history.
hear it.
And we
But you-
loved each other, and we loved what we were doing
Right.
together.
And
And
that reflected in the music.
And
yeah,
I'm so
Yes,
happy
you
and
can
proud
hear it.
that
you
I
know,
was part of
yeah,
it.
yeah,
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 and,
me too.
and
Our
just,
souls, they gel together.
right.
You know, and see, that's the whole thing. Music is a gateway to the soul.
That's right.
We gel together. We not brothers by birth, but you know, we got a closeness with each other because of the music we played together. And I think that's the most important thing about music now. You know, cause like we was talking earlier, you know, live music is different from music that you play off a machine. It's
Well,
all
absolutely.
together different
Sure,
things,
totally.
all different energy. You know, and
An interplay.
yeah.
Now
So-
the $64,000 question is, how do you connect those dots? How do you get the cats of today to have that same vibe? You know, to actually want to play with other musicians like that.
They got to
You know
do
what I mean?
it. You got to rewind like Kim was talking about. Rewind, put it back in the school.
Yeah.
Put the arts back in the school.
That would help.
Re-educate
That would
people
help.
Right.
about instruments.
Yeah,
You
that
got
would
young
help.
kids don't even know what a bassoon is, or English horn,
Yeah.
or French horn, or they don't know nothing about instruments, man. So like you got to re-educate. You know, if you take all the music out of the schools, I mean, what do you expect? They doing what they can. They got the energy to do
Doing
it.
all they know to
Oh
do.
my
You know,
God! And they got the
They do.
desire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I teach
But you-
students. I've only ever taught on a college level, but I've recently worked with Mr. Gamble, as a matter of fact, to help write a curriculum for a charter school he's involved with in Southwest Philly.
Wow.
Yeah, actually down south.
Yeah, that's something.
Yeah. You know what, though?
And believe me, we wrote a curriculum that would do just that. It would help bring people in, get them more interested, and try to learn more than just the one little part of it they think is all they need.
Yeah.
But you know, I think it would take, not to cut you off, but I think it would take, all it takes is one celebrity, let's say, that the kids really, really respect and admire. And this is a young person's game, this music industry.
Oh, yeah.
You know, this
Oh,
is young
yeah.
people's game.
Right,
man.
right.
You know, well, there ain't no more music industry as we used to know it. I'm
Yeah,
not
right.
glad to know that.
That's
Yeah.
it.
You know,
True.
it's a corporate game now. You know, that
But you know what, though, T?
Let me
I
say
mean,
that.
I just want to. No. All right, go
let me
ahead.
finish saying
I'm
one.
sorry.
One select.
Jim it hit on a point where I lost my train of thought. But we were talking. What were you talking about?
You were saying
Yeah, you
one
said
celebrity.
one-
One
one.
celebrity.
All it takes is one celebrity to get on some social media, go viral, and say, guys, you know, we need to come together collectively, get those drum machines or those learn how to play an instrument, but do it together. Learn to have some camaraderie. And the reason I say that, I was home one day and I was watching Soul Train. Barry White came on. This is when the machines and stuff started happening. This is when he was having that rumble with a quote-unquote record company.
Okay.
And he was kind of angry. And he was telling the kids the new keyboards and the drum machines and all of that. He says, take them, use them, and make music till the cows come home. You don't need that other thing no more. And I said to myself, oh, there
Yeah,
goes.
I remember that.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I do.
And you know, the kids said, yeah, okay. So we don't need it. That's how this whole thing came about. And it's a little selfish, not a little selfish, a whole lot selfish. But there's a lot more associated with that. But I think if the right person came along and said something,
Yeah, you got it.
it would be hip. It wouldn't be corny. You dig what I'm saying? It'd be laid on the money and make more money.
Yeah.
Well,
You
you know,
know.
I think that'll be a step in the right direction, but I think it's a little deeper than that.
Yeah, it could be.
Like, if I use myself as an example,
Uh-huh.
when I first started getting into this computer stuff, you know, before that, like I said, we played everything, we cut all our parts separately, and then we mixed and then we mastered. Now, when I play the parts in the computer, I can just cut and paste. If I don't like a certain section of the song, I can cut it out and put it at the end. You know what I mean? I ain't got to go back to the top and play anymore. So, the computer, in a way, it makes you kind of lazy now. Because all that stuff that, you know, look, you got total memory, total recall, you ain't got to go back and look to the top anymore.
But I'm not talking about totally eliminating the computer.
No,
I think
I'm just
that,
saying that's a step in the right direction. But
Yeah.
And I'm just saying the other side of that coin is that it's been made so easy now to you kind of like drift towards that. You know, because you can speed the tempo up, you can change the key, you can cut the pace. You ain't got to call the cats back in no more. You know, so how do you get them to want to call the cats back in?
but there's a lot of guys that want me to play guitar and everything, and I said no. And then I say yes sometimes. You know. But you know, how come you can't play? Here, take that and put it in.
Well, I have a question.
It is a guitar.
I have
Take
a
that,
question.
man.
Now we
Leave
talk
it alone.
about someone coming in to say whatever to get the music back in the school and all that kind of stuff. We're waiting for that special person. But why can't you guys be that special person? Why can't you collaborate, join together, and do that sort of thing for the kids? I mean, we're powerful as a team. We have the best here. We have 7, 8 legends here, okay? We can't sit back or shouldn't sit back and wait for someone else to come in when you have the same knowledge that someone else has, okay? So what can we do as a team to help?
Well,
What can we
still
do?
got the same problem because even if we did hook up as a team, right, and everything was good and we said we're going to do this, then how do you get the kids to want to come on board? How do you get them to want to cut and paste less and actually play more?
You take it you go to the schools. I do it all the time. You go to the public school system. I do it all the time, man. You go there, you go and play your instrument, and you talk to them and get their mouth wet for playing instruments again.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And see, they took all the instruments out of the school, but you got people that will give grants to certain schools.
They give music,
just
they
to
give
start.
instruments.
Yeah,
They give
they buy the
instruments.
instruments if the people show interest. So you have to go to the school and let them know that this is lost art. We the best at it. You know. You know what I mean? All over the world, people want to hear American music. You know what I mean? And we sitting down at a machine. You know, now, there ain't nothing wrong with the computers and all that stuff. They're taking it, and you can take analog the same way and slice it and put it over there. I do a little bit of something.
Well, wait a minute. We used to, your computers
Yeah.
are doing exactly what we used to do back in the day.
It took a long time.
It took a long time, but we had a razor blade.
Ah, that's right. He was good at it.
Oh,
He was
one of
good
the
at
best.
it. He was good.
Man, he could take
He can slice real
a
good.
4-minute song and turn it into 20 minutes, and you never know it was
That's
the same
it,
song.
yeah.
You know, come on, man. This stuff ain't new.
That's
We
right.
did
That's
that,
right.
been there, done that
That's
already.
right.
We got that music. Got to come
Absolutely
back
the same,
though.
But I do have to say this: all the new computer tools are very empowering.
Yeah.
But he said it.
No, absolutely.
It's better make a
Absolutely.
whole record.
Yeah, man.
And then make it lazy.
Because that's all they know.
That's right.
But
But
yet,
if that's all
Well,
you know,
they got the cutting now, and now they got the mastering, which we used to have to go to a mastering lab.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I still
We be over here, we cut this in the studio,
But
say
see-
like Sigma.
But see, Chief, hold on a second. That's part of the process. Going outside to get fresh ears to master your music.
Yeah.
Now when you got it on your computer, it's the same as ear fatigue. Now you done played it, you done mixed it, now you're gonna master it, and then think it's gonna be a masterpiece.
No way. I teach that all the time. I
Yeah.
teach that all the time. Yeah. Get fresh ears on it when
There
you
you
get
go.
to the end.
Oh yeah, yeah. You got to give these a
Well,
rest when you get ready to master.
But you know what, guys? though, one of the things that I miss about how we used to record and do things is that it's like guys like Steve Green and McFadden and Whitehead and Car Starfin and all of
Fisker
the
stuff.
all of the like writers and things that used to be in that building. But not only were we true to our craft or what we were doing collectively as a team, but everybody encouraged everybody else's project. I mean, we could be downstairs in Studio B, and somebody else could be up in A, and we'll take a break and walk up there and walk in the room and jam with them and encourage them and say, "Hey man, that's a hot track," and encourage. We used to do that. I think that's one of the things that we miss with all the computer stuff. You don't have that camaraderie.
Well, I also think that with respects to technology, that's one thing, but what it doesn't give you is the spiritual and physical connection to instruments that only instruments can give you.
Oh, wow.
Very well said, brother.
Absolutely.
Very well
I
said.
agree with Sam.
And the instrument, and then on top of that, which is multiplied times the factor of how many people you got all playing with each other, interacting with each other. Ooh, all of a sudden he plays a lick that you hear and then you go, oh, wow.
There's nothing on the planet like it.
I used to love that. Was like watching magic happen.
That's why those songs back in the day were so great, and that's why they still hold up now.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because of the collaboration.
And maybe one of the ways you have to get the younger people to realize that is to play them some of the really great early stuff and say, now listen to this. This did not happen with any machines at all.
A lot of them know.
This was all real people.
A lot of them know because they sample those records, and a lot of them, sample vinyl. I mean, they're really students of the old school. The problem is they have no idea how to recreate it.
How to do it.
No, so that's why
I'm
they're
still
on the
teaching
computer.
every minute.
I mean,
For years, one of the early bands that I had with Pete Rudd and Miguel Fuentes and Herb Smith, we would do shows for kids, and we would explain on stage to children the instruments themselves, and we would invite kids up to feel it and everything. Like this went on for about an hour, and then we would actually play music for them. And that's what I think Sam has a great idea. Go into the schools and find who is interested, find who wants to learn what an instrument is all about and how their bodies would relate to it. Because I went through 3 instruments before I finally settled on the cello and the piano. I went through the clarinet, the flute, which I couldn't get. But this and that I could get. And so I think he's right. I think that we could come together and figure out a way to reach out to the school system.
And we just have to keep spreading that word.
And it's I can't think of the name of it, but those guitars and bass back there, we got those from an organization, right? And they donated to, I have a 501(c)(3). I have one where we teach kids.
Oh, okay.
And we went there, and they gave us more than that. I have some at home.
They have them in storage, know.
And
they're just sitting there. They have a storage facility here in Philadelphia where instruments have been sitting, a warehouse exactly, for 2 years. And none of the children are getting them.
Because they don't even know about them. They don't even know. All they think about is the computer. That's because they haven't been opened up to anything else.
Right.
They need to be introduced.
That comes back to what everybody said about the schools not having any type of musical.
That has to change from the top down.
Structure, that's got to be redone.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say something that probably is going to be significant, and
Make sure you record this.
Okay.
No. Keep your hand on the button.
Get ready with that.
Please keep your hand on the button.
No, I got to be honest. I have to be honest, and I'm listening to this, and when I get asked and subjected to something like this, when it says, well, we all collectively could do something, and da-da-da-da-da, I have to think about my position and where I'm at and how everybody's head is. Right. Locked into, whatever was said. It's very true that there's a lot of kids that don't play instruments anymore. Black kids.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Black kids are the ones that really got it bad.
That's right.
It ain't the white kids, because see, they still run out. Daddy, I want to play guitar. Okay, I'm going to get you Chuck Berry.
And it's in their school.
A Chuck Berry
And
guitar.
it's still in there, school
Learn how
out
to
the
play.
verbs, out the
You
verbs, you
understand
got your
what I'm
marching band, and you got
Yeah.
Which urban kids are no longer bused to and can no longer go to
Yes.
You're right.
through
That's what I
laws.
said. That's
Yeah.
If a
real
mother
life
tries to
change.
get her kid from an urban school into a suburban school, she can go to jail.
Voting people
That's right.
in,
Absolutely.
change.
So when we talk about this kind of thing, the conditioning, there's a conditioning that black kids are going to have to go through. I can't imagine. When I went to school, we all came up the same way, 8,
Right.
9 years old. I played clarinet. That was my first instrument.
Right,
And,
see?
and then I had the oboe and the flute. I did that until I discovered that I wanted to be in this calypso band, and that just didn't fly.
Never heard of
You gonna play
clarinet
clarinet?
yet.
So I said told that on her show, one of your shows, and so I had to learn to play timbales. Oh man, I was good with rhythm. I took all of that stuff, from the
Right,
clarinet to the timbales to the congas, you know what I mean, and transferred it over into guitar. So my rhythm thing on the guitar, I'm playing timbales. You know what I'm saying?
Remember that class?
That kind of, it's the truth, you know. And for me to address a situation, it would have to be with my brothers like this, that we understand each other and put everything and be what's the word for it? So we can see everything.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I agree.
But it's not, you're music legends, but it's not just you.
No, it's just
Right.
no.
There's hundreds and hundreds
It's
of them in
hundreds,
Philadelphia.
hundreds.
That's
You
right.
know,
It's
there's
one of the
many,
classes
many,
me and
many.
Jim did.
Right.
So this is just a sample of all of you guys that's out there.
Right.
You know, and at least we can,
Wow.
we can give it a try.
Wow.
We can do it. I know.
Well, let me tell you,
Bill
it's
is giving
enough
me
I
5
just-
minutes.
It's enough talent in this room right
We got
now.
it for
Yeah.
a number of
To
Listen,
overtake the music
Yeah.
industry,
And we
even
saw
as
that
it is right now.
Well,
Right now.
This guy, I know we're about to run out of time,
Yeah.
but I just got $1 million question,
Okay.
and if it can just go around the room with the quick of answer as possible. With the record industry the way it is to today, man, I gotta pull my question up here because I want to say it right.
Streaming, huh?
How do we distribute our own music in the industry the way it is today?
Who wants to go
I'll
first?
go first. Look, I don't see distribution as a problem. You can sit at home and distribute your music.
Right.
The trick is, how do you get paid for your music?
Well,
That's the question.
okay.
You know, 'cause we can ship records through the internet from here to China and get them played. But this a dollar a stream or a dollar a download, that ain't gonna get it. You know.
Right.
So how do we get paid?
Well,
Jim?
Well, that's
Well-
in court now.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be, on the 30th, they have a decision that's supposed to be made, or something that's already
And
been
So if
made.
it goes in
so is that for every distributor,
It
or
has-
is it going to be like it is now?
It's mainly about
Oh,
the
it's
streaming.
They're gonna
Right,
up the rate on
because the
streaming?
streaming is, the artists are not getting paid what they're supposed to be getting paid.
Spotify
which-
doesn't pay anything.
No, they
Exactly.
don't pay nothing.
So
I was
all
getting
of the
ready to
ones
say
that are streaming need to come in line with what BMI and
ASCAP, CSAC.
CSAP and all. And
Right.
even what's that other one? I can't think of it.
There's
Sound-
SAG and
Sound Exchange.
The
Sound
FCC.
exchange.
Sound exchange.
Right.
Well, when you think about this, that's a good question. You know, the marketing and promotional aspect of this thing has really gone into a corporate situation. If you think you're going to put a record out independently and not you do this little online promotion and all of that
That
stuff,
doesn't work.
you know,
You-
why isn't it working? There's zillions of people on the internet. Well, the truth of the matter is, you can't reach them all.
That's
Even if you push that button and it's over in China. You can't reach them all. You know why? Because you're not promoting.
Yeah, you have to promote
You
yourself.
got to
Yeah,
promote
that's
market
never
yourself.
marketing
Yeah,
and
never
promoting
marketing,
ain't never
yeah.
going to go
More than
anywhere.
It's not going nowhere. Those people got to get paid.
Just sit
So
there.
why don't we tell people like it is? You know, to get a record on the radio now, how much you think it costs to get constant rotation in the markets?
My God.
Well, guys, I'm going to have to end this. I'm sorry.
Should I stop
But-
now? You just cut me
No,
off.
I don't want to cut you off. But
I'm
look,
leaving.
no,
There is no
listen,
easy answer to that one.
Listen.
See?
What we could do, you know, we can do a part 2. We can do some research on what we talked about today, and we can come in with a part 2. How does that sound?
Sounds great.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Watch what it is.
How about having them perform too?
Yeah, they can do some perform. If the
Ask them to
ask them,
do
and
something.
if they would
Come
come
on,
to
Gil. I used to like you.
you can
Yeah.
capture
What do you mean,
a lot.
perform? You mean perform
if
together,
you would perform or however you want to do it, you
I
may
can't play no
capture
more.
you may capture an audience just by showing them what you can do. Why can't you play anymore?
Show them what you do with that timbali.
I'm really done with the
Clarinet.
timbali. I ain't played the timbali since I was.
You know, we could try.
I'm 39 now, so.
Oh,
But,
Yeah.
I want to say thank you to Facebook family and friends for joining us tonight. This was an interesting conversation, and plus it was a learning conversation. And I hope many of you, though I didn't say it, had a pencil and paper and took good notes, because some of the things that these gentlemen said tonight could help you in your future. You know, and if you one of the guys that stay in the room and you record by your computer, you know, you could consider getting an instrument and trying to learn something new. So I want to thank you guys. It was very informative.
Well, thank you
And I
very
want
We
much.
thank you,
so much
Doris.
for
Yeah,
having
Thank you,
us.
Hey,
Doris.
thank you,
and
Gil.
you can come
Thank
back.
you, Doris.
We couldn't
Thank
do
you,
it
Gil.
without
Finish this.
you.
We can finish it. And thank you, Gilbert, as I said, thank you very much. Thank you, Toy Live Radio. and next week, I won't have, next week is July 4th.
Yeah.
So we won't have a live show, but I'll have a watch party, and that watch party will be with Winston Gay.
Oh,
Okay, so we have
Okay.
a watch party with them. So I want to thank you tonight. I want to thank Facebook, family, and friends. And I'm Doris Hall James, and welcome to the Indie Show. And thanks for tuning in tonight. Thank you very much.
All right.
Listen to the artists of today. Travel with them along through the dark.